Hello. Hello, goddesses. Beautiful, beautiful women of the internet. I want to share today why I do what I do. And I realize many of you may not even know what I do. So it felt like it was time. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who didn't know my story. She knew I was a coach. She knew I help women. She knew I'm really fun, but she didn't know my story. And her reaction of almost crying let me know that I need to share this. So my mission in life is to light you up. My mission in life is to light women up so brightly that you go and shine your light in the world. My firm belief is that when women shine, the world will change. When women take their own dreams and their own joy and their own vivaciousness seriously, you're going to ripple effect to your kids, to your community. You're going to go for your dreams. That is what is going to change this world. And I'm going to share with you why I do what I do. So I was that perfect little girl. I just wanted to be perfect. I was the youngest of three. My parents would say, we got it right the third time. And so I wanted just to get all A's. I wanted their approval. Anything I could do, cheerleading, social, to be on student government. Like I just wanted that perfection. And you could tell me, does this resonate? Anyone else? You just wanted to be that perfect little girl. And so I did all that, including I got married at 22 to tall, dark, handsome lawyer. Like we had a big house in the suburbs by the time I was 25. We had a golden retriever. We had like season tickets, football tickets. And for some reason I would cry almost every day. My husband would be like, what's wrong with you? And all I can tell you is I just felt this emptiness in my heart. I felt an emptiness in my soul. I felt so caged in. We had this big house and this huge backyard that was like the size of a football field. And I felt so caged in. And I just said, I just feel like I'm here for something. I just need more. And it's like, well, what more do I need? We made good money. We had a big house. What more do I need? I felt so crappy for wanting more. I felt so selfish and guilty. But it was like it wouldn't go away. And so when I was 26 years old, we got divorced. And I began my journey to say, well, what is happiness for me? And as I looked back at my life, when I was in high school, I ran a youth group. Like I was a senior and I had freshmen and juniors who were in this youth group with me. And I loved like shepherding these young girls. I loved like helping them see their gifts and their talents and go for their dreams and like do whatever they wanted to do in school and go into the college that they wanted to go to. Like I loved it. I loved gathering us girls together for like slumber parties and events and planning those events. And then I went on to college and I ran sorority rush for the entirety of the University of Michigan. 1,000 women came through because I just love that. I love women gathering. I love women getting together. I love women doing like social justice projects together. I love women raising their voices together. Like I love women coming together. And so when I was 26 and I got divorced and I started saying like, I just need more. I need to figure out what makes me happy, not what the world told me would make me happy. What came to me was looking back at my life. What always made me happy was bringing women together. What always made me happy was encouraging and empowering and inspiring women. And I was like, that's what I'm here for. But I couldn't figure out how to turn that into a career. Like, what is that? There were no podcasts at the time. There was no social media. And so I fell into a deep depression where I was going to my psychiatrist and like begging her for more and more and more medication every month until she finally said to me, she was like writing in her notebook like this, like this, it was open. She's writing in her notebook. And then she closes her notebook. She looks at me and she says, Karen, you don't need more medication. You have all these dreams that you talk about and you've never followed one of them. And so I made a decision right there. And then I made a list of all my dreams. I dreamt of living in Paris, but I didn't do it in college because I had this boyfriend who then became my husband. I dreamed of doing something big and outrageous. So I ran a marathon, like all these things, but I still hadn't followed this career, this dream of mine to write books. Where's my book? Oh, it fell on the floor. To write books and to inspire women and to hold big events for women and to hold retreats. And then one day, if you're here, let me know if this is resonating with you. I'm sharing like why I do what I do and my story because you might not know it. One day I was walking home from a bad blind date and it was like 10 o'clock at night and I'm talking on the phone with my sister, blah, 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 this date he was blah, blah, blah. And I go to put my key in the condominium door and all of a sudden I felt hot breath on my neck. And I turn around and I am nose to nose with a young man. And trigger warning, he pulled a gun on me. And I screamed and I fell to the floor. Now my hands are over my head and I'm going, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. And I literally had a moment. I totally thought I was going to die. And I had this moment. Hey, Kate, it's so good to be with you. I had this moment. I'm going to die and I haven't fulfilled that dream of inspiring and empowering women. Like I haven't done it. And really, why didn't I do it? Because I was too scared. Like I would have this thought, who am I? Who am I to inspire women? Like I'm just a regular woman. I'm a girl. Like who am I to become a motivational speaker? Who am I? And so I'm there and now the gun is at my head and I think I'm about to die. And I said, dear God, if you let me live, I promise I will pursue my purpose no matter what. And just at that moment, the man took my purse and he ran. And I had that experience of almost dying, but living so that I could inspire, I could encourage, I could empower you to not get until that moment. Don't wait until you, God forbid, have breast cancer. Don't wait until, God forbid, you're in a car accident. Don't wait until you're 90 years old and you look back at your life and you regret that you didn't live it fully. You regret that you followed what everyone else told you that you're supposed to do. You regret that you did what society said that you followed. It's like you didn't write that book, or you didn't start that business. You didn't go travel the world because what would they say, or because other people think it's silly or stupid. You stayed in a relationship that does not serve you because it's like, oh, well, it's okay. Like, no, I almost died so that you can live. And it is why I'm so passionate about this. And that's why after I made that commitment to myself that I would pursue this purpose no matter what, I decided I'm going to go back to grad school. I'm going to give this every chance I have. And so I found my master's. I found the positive psychology, the scientific study of happiness. Like, who knew that that's a thing? That's a field. And it was actually started by a very famous professor at the University of Pennsylvania, which is a Ivy League school. And as I'm looking at the website and seeing that I can get my master's degree in the science of happiness and human flourishing, like I start crying, like this is what I've wanted my whole life. And so I applied and I got in. And then I did the bravest thing I could imagine. I left my job as a vice president of marketing, making a 6-figure salary, scared poopless, so scared. My dad said to me, that is the stupidest decision I have ever heard. May you rest in peace, Daddy. And I was so scared. And I just had to follow this internal knowing because I almost died. And I said to myself that day, I have to try this because what's the worst thing that happens? What's the worst thing that happens? The worst thing that happens is that it doesn't work. The worst thing that happens is that nobody hires me as a motivational speaker. The worst thing that happens is that nobody hires me as their life coach. That's the worst thing that happens. And then what would I do? I would go get another job. If it meant working at Starbucks, if it meant going back into marketing communications, whatever it meant, did I believe in myself to get another job? And the answer is yes. And I was scared to believe in myself, but I did. And that's why I am now such an amazing coach and mentor for women who want to take big action in the world. You want to follow your dreams. You want to go for it fully. You want to be so fully alive, because what I can tell you is a woman who follows her dreams, a woman who knows her purpose and goes for it, she is magnetic. She is radiant. She lights up the universe. She is like, she overflows with juice and with joy, and it overflows to everyone around her, whether it's the woman at, working behind the counter at the grocery store, or it's someone on an airplane, or it's her kids. And most women I know, and ask yourself, do you fall into this category where you shut yourself down because you have so many responsibilities, so you're overexhausted, you're overworking yourself? Like, are you shutting yourself down? Are you saying, well, there's time later for my dreams? Are you saying, I don't even know what my dreams are? Like, are you that woman? Are you that woman who says, who, like, deep down, you've never admitted to anybody that you want to sing on a stage. You've never admitted to anybody that you want to have a side hustle. You want to make your own money. You've never admitted to anybody that you want to leave your career and do this other thing. You've never admitted to anybody that you're unhappy in your marriage. This is where I specialize. And I am so good as a mentor of helping you through the muck and to go do the damn thing. I am so good as a mentor of helping you to release the shame and release the fear and release the self-doubt and having you rise in your glory. And I'm so good at it because I almost lost my life. Because when I almost died and I had not pursued my dream out of fear, I am telling you, there was a gun to my head when I was 34 years old, and I thought, I am going to die, and I've never pursued that dream. And I made myself a promise that if I lived, I would pursue this purpose of inspiring you to go for your dreams. And what's fun is, with the science of happiness, plus after I got my master's degree in the science of happiness, I studied the divine feminine to learn the feminine practices of magnetism, and learn the feminine practices of joy, and learn the feminine practices of fire, and learn the feminine practices of burning down what no longer serves us, learn the feminine practices of being the phoenix who rises. Like, I studied that intensely and initiated as a priestess of the 13 moon oracle. And then I went on and studied for 2 years with Regina Thomashour to study sensuality and feminine mystique and feminine mystery, and our sensuality and our sexuality, because I want to, that's where so much juice and joy is. When you harness your own power, when you feel juicy in your body, when you love who you are, you make magic in the world. You magnetize everything to you. And you might be so far, you're like, I'm so exhausted, I can barely breathe, I can't even get to magnetism. Or you might be like, I want that so badly. I want to be like that queen, even though it's scary. So this is why I hold the events I do, and I hold the sisterhoods that I do. And on November 2nd and 3rd, I am gathering 100 women, up to 100 women, who want to be a big, juicy yes to life. 100 women who say, I am ready. 100 women who are, you're scared. It's okay to be scared. But 100 women who say, I am no longer willing to live in this old way of womaning. So the old way of womaning, just so you're clear, the old way of womaning is that you let people pleasing get in the way of pleasuring, of what your own pleasure and joy is. You let perfectionism get in the way of pursuing your purpose. You let playing small get in the way of owning your power. And therefore, you let yourself be in a place of depression or anxiety, depression, pressing down your true self. You let that get in the way of being lit up, alive, magnetic, powerful. Like, can you imagine 100 of us owning our power in a room? Can you imagine 100 of us saying yes to life? Can you imagine 100 of us gathering? And here's the best part. This event, Woman Rising Live, is happening for you to learn the new way to woman, for you to step into your juice, for you to be around powerful women. That event is happening November 2nd and 3rd in Philadelphia, right before the US election. Now, here's why this is super important. Pennsylvania will be a contested, heated state. It always is. And no matter who wins on November 5th, first of all, we're not going to know because there will be so many mail-in ballots. It is going to be a challenging time for America, and sadly, because of America's kind of power in the world, right or wrong, but it will be a challenging time worldwide. And so what is needed is for 100 of us women to gather at that time. 100 women who become so magnetic and so powerful and so fulfilled that no matter what happens on November 5th and afterwards, we feel alive and lit up and in our power to speak our voice and to go for our dreams. We need, okay, November 5th and after is going to be draining and exhausting, no matter who wins, because we've got half the country that's so angry on one side and half the country that's so angry on the other side. So what we need, what you will need to make it through that time are the tools of resilience, the tools of rising. And at Woman Rising Live, I literally teach you, I take you through the 4-step process for you to rise. And there are 4 steps. We don't just rise immediately because we want to. The 4 steps I will teach you around what do you do with all the angst and the anguish and the fear and the like mom and dad's old stories in your brains or society stories about who you're supposed to be. I will teach you the first step about how you release them from your body. It is somatic, it is empowered, it is embodied, it is beautiful. I will then teach you the second step, which is remembering your power. Okay, this is very powerful. We will have a whole experience at Woman Rising Live for you to actually start to go inward and say, who am I? Who am I? Who am I really? We will have then the experience of reclaiming your power. So one of the tools I'm going to teach you is that we all have power leaks. So it's like if you start in the morning and you got this gorgeous cup of coffee, and as if there was a leak in the cup, all day long you leak power to maybe a whiny toddler. Maybe you leak power to your partner who maybe isn't caring for you or wanting to listen to you. Maybe you leak power to money and saying, oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. Maybe you leak power to your boss. What a jerk. It's like we leak power all day long. And so this very powerful section about reclaiming your power is reclaiming your power in your voice, reclaiming your power of body sovereignty and loving your body in whatever shape she is in, reclaiming your power of your sensuality, your sexuality, reclaiming your power. So this section like blew women's whole minds and bodies open last year. And then we move into the 4th section around rising and rising in your power and rising in your purpose and assisters. And you are going to leave. I gathered the volunteers. Women last year, they loved this event so much. Listen to this. They loved this event so much last year that they are paying to fly to Philadelphia, paying for a hotel, to volunteer for 2 full days to support you. That's how good this event is, okay? They are paying to volunteer and support you. So we met yesterday as a group and like we all went through, what do you want women to feel when they are in that room, when they are at Woman Rising Live, when they are leaving? And a woman said, I want her to know that she is capable of any possibility in the world for her, because that's what I got last year. And another woman said, I want her to leave knowing she's got like best friends for life, because that's what I got last year. And another woman said, I want her to love her body because that's what I got last year. It was like so amazing. We so I'm telling you, these are women who came last year and they're saying that this event, 2 days, leaving their environment, leaving the minutia and the mundanity of the day to day, leaving that and coming together with 100 women, changed their entire lives to the point where they are volunteering to help you. Now, this event in the future, next year, I'm going to be doing this event in a massive scale, and it's going to be $1,500 because that in itself is cheap. Okay, I've got women coming to Sonoma with me next week for $2,500. Women just came to Paris with me for $4,000. So next year, this event will be $1,500, and that will still be a bargain compared to the value that you get. I mean, what is changing your life worth to you? What is your happiness worth to you? What is your purpose worth to you? What is your power worth to you? It better be more than $1,500. However, this event right now is only $147. Okay, so it's like 10%. So why am I giving you 90% off? I'm giving you 90% off because it is more important to me, with the state of the world and the news and the economy and everything else that's been going on. It is more important to me that you get your cute booty into that room, that you have the experience of rising up, that you have the experience of owning your power, that you have the experience of having ecstatic joy that is juicy and oozes out to everyone around you, that you have the experience of getting so fulfilled before the election. It is that important to me that I'm giving you 90% off. But at any day, I might decide to increase the price. Might decide. Oh, someone just signed up. Yay! Afwee's Flourishing. Welcome. fun. Yes. And she signed up for VIP. And this is even more fun. Ready? So it's November 2nd and 3rd. And the VIP is happening November 1st, which is a private reception from 6 to 8 p.m. Friday night with me and whatever women come to the VIP. So that's going to be where we get to like really be personal and so juicy and so fun. I'm so excited. Welcome, sister. Welcome. This event is off the charts. And now is probably when I'm going to cry. When I had this dream of doing this, and I was holding myself back because I thought, who am I to inspire women? Like, I'm just a girl from the Midwest. And I held myself back for 8 years from following my dream. 8 years because I was so scared of what people would think. I was so scared of failure. I was so scared of rejection. And then when I almost lost my life, it was just like, what was I so scared of? Because we're all gonna die, and it's just, what do we do with this life while we're alive? And that's my why. I don't want you to get to any sort of near end of your life and look back and regret. And not if I have anything to do with it, not on my watch. And the fact that now, you know, I got that master's degree in positive psychology, and now I've gotten to work with literally tens of thousands of women. I feel so grateful. I feel so grateful. So grateful. Oh, you met me in 2014. Oh my God, it's been 10 years. I'm so honored that you're coming, sister. That means so much. Yeah, I'm so grateful. So, if I can do this as a girl from the Midwest, a divorcee from the Midwest, you could do it too, whatever your dream is. And I can't wait to help you do it. So, that's my why. And I appreciate you listening and being here for the CARINA Show. And I can't wait to see you November 2nd and 3rd. Grab a friend, grab your mom, grab your sister, grab whomever, and let's go. And by the way, if you're like, but I can't afford to stay, like 147 isn't expensive, but what about the plane ride or whatnot? Like, there are deals all the time. There are train rides, there are buses. And, you know, someone who came last year, she stayed at a hostel. And even though she can afford to stay at a hotel, she's staying at the hostel again because she had so much freaking fun. She came home so juicy the days from this event that like she stayed up with other people in the hostel, having a beer, having fun. Like that's how juicy this event is. So there are so many options. Plus, I have hotel rooms at a special rate right now for $159, and people are looking for roommates. And so just come. And remember, what is your happiness worth to you? I spent $90,000 on my graduate degree, and it was worth every penny because it was my freedom. So what is your freedom worth to you? All right, with that, thanks for listening. This has been a long CARINA show today. I love you so much. Bye for now.